Hello everyone, thanks for joining us at ESS 2023. Massive range of exhibitors on this year, some fantastic products, new equipment and all the latest vehicles of course from multiple different converters, suppliers and vehicle OEMs. We look forward to showing you around. We're going to touch base with the RSG and look at some really good products and showcase what's on offer this year. So we're joined by Stuart from Standby RSG on the stand at ESS 2023. Now, as you can see, there's a lot going on in the background. It's very bright, it's very loud, but hopefully this comes through okay. We're going to discuss the new NX range of control systems. Now, these are very similar to the range of MCS systems that are commonly known from RSG. We fit tons and tons of this equipment. Fantastic, very versatile control system, but there are some new features. So, Stuart, talk to me about the CAN bus connectivity. Obviously, we're used to the CAN bus connections in vehicle. We're used to them talking to the cars, but this system's now going to talk to a new range of light heads that you developed. Is that right?
That's right. That's it. So this is the new NX64 we've got here. This is the top of the range unit. This is primarily aimed at larger vehicles, and we've got more CAN buses on here. And one of the nice things with that is we don't only talk to the vehicle CAN bus, but also to product CAN buses, such as our light bars. So if you've got a CAN bus on a light bar, we can reduce the thickness of the cable going up to the bar. We get more versatility, more control patterns, this kind of thing, and that gets controlled straight from this unit here.
Fantastic. And obviously we're used to a range of tactile, multicoloured combination control system handsets from yourself, but I'm noticing now something a little bit different. We're looking at touch screens, LEDs, combination panels. Is this all new with the NX?
This is all new stuff. So this is primarily aimed at larger vehicles where you want to control a wider range of kit, more outputs on the device. And we want a new range of inputs as well. So if you look at an ambulance, for instance, they're used to these kind of panels in the cab and also in the saloon bar of the saloon of the ambulance. So we've got a touch screen controller here, and this control unit is a hybrid of active push buttons and also a mini touch screen as well. So you've got soft buttons on here, and these can change colour and functions depending on what you want them to do.
So that's quite good, I imagine, then, in terms of resilience. If we had some sort of catastrophic failure of the screen, if somebody was worried that we don't want to get into that technology just yet, you've also got the tried and tested tactile buttons, and I'm assuming they cover all the same elements as to
exactly, yeah. And you've also got the ability of your sort of muscle memory. So if you don't know where the button is, you're not looking at it, you can sort of feel along the panel here, you can feel where the button is, you can press it and off you go.
Absolutely. So, going back to the product CAN bus then, we've got a new range of lights, new light bars coming out, some fancy new patterns on there, some new features that we're not used to seeing from yourselves. They do exist, they are out there over in the States, but RSG are looking to bring that over into the UK. The smaller light heads here, just talk to us about this cruise and override breather function.
Yeah, so with these LEDs, we can control the power that goes to the LEDs, and we do that with a thing called PWM, pulse width modulation. So that puts more power into the lights to make them brighter or less power to make them dimmer. And if we do that in this gradual format, we can fade the lights in and out, giving this sort of breathing effect. The great advantage of that is if you're a motorist driving down the road, you don't want this blinding on-off type thing going on and this total random patterns. You get this smooth breathing in and out. It's easier on the eyes. It's clearly still an alert pattern taking place, but it's just easier on your eyes. It doesn't blind you so much. It doesn't cause that distraction at night time.
And I suppose that's great for calming down scenes as well. Obviously, sensitive police scenes and major police incidents, lots of vehicles there, flashing lights, it's chaos, you might be in a residential area. The slower patterns are just going to calm that environment down, aren't they, make it a little bit easier for officers on the ground. A, they're not being blinded, members of the public aren't being flash banged in the face by tons of warning lights. It calms the scene down and it makes it easier for officers on the ground.
Exactly right. And the other great thing we've got here is a GPS receiver. So we're picking up GPS. We're able to sync all the vehicles around via a GPS signal, make sure they're all flashing and doing this breathing pattern at the same time in the same way. So you get a lovely uniform look across the scene.
That's great. So that gives you some sense of where vehicles are positioned. I know, especially at night time and in the wet, coming down the motorway at 70 mile an hour, all of a sudden you're dazed by a big haze of emergency vehicles on scene. This is going to help to identify exactly where those vehicles are, especially, I imagine, on the hard shoulder, the slower pattern. It'll make it easier to identify drivers.
You got it.
You dim it down, you can see the vehicle's position lights. It's all about safety, isn't it?
Exactly right, yeah.
Brilliant. So I think this is a fantastic demonstration of this slow fade in, fade out, breathe functionality. As you can tell, the entire light bar is pulsing across what we normally refer to A and B outputs. A, then B, then A, then B, and that would be similarly repeated across the vehicle. where the CAN bus lights are used. So this is going to be a fantastic way to calm those scenes down, as we spoke about earlier. There are multiple elements of the control system built into this light bar. We've obviously still got flashing. We can override the front lights to spotlights. We can override the rear heads as brake lights. Multitude of different things that we've got, and we are going to see this bar in dual colour formation, which is great. Now this is the new Raiden bar. It's not available yet. It's just being showcased now at ESS, and we're hoping to see this sometime in 2024. There will be updates to follow. What do you think in terms of competition? Is this light bar likely to replace some of your more common options?
Well, this is a sort of an entry-level type light bar, but it's beautifully designed. It's a slimline, aerodynamic type design, so it's going to be very popular among the whole range of users who want to have an aerodynamic bar in their vehicle. But it's also pitched in price-wise at the lower end of the market, so it's going to attract a wide range of applications, and it's got great things like this PWM control of LEDs available for this breathing pattern. So you've got a whole load of things, a whole load of features and functionality in an entry-level bar.
Fantastic. So as a customer, we could specify this as a divisional policing light bar, and then we can go all the way up to the top, like your critical care cars, your police arm response vehicles and traffic cars.
Exactly.
And with the dual colour override, we're hoping to see the full end cap of the light bar override in scene lights, as well as the front whites overriding as floodlights, again just for perimeter safety, lighting that scene up at night. Is that something that you think is going to be quite popular?
Oh yeah, definitely, and it's one of the great things about this bar. We've got a lot of versatility in here. Even though it's entry level, we can support all these requirements within the marketplace.
Exactly, and you're only ever going to spend what you need. So just touching back to what we said earlier with the NX64, now that's a really big system. This is aimed at your fire appliances, frontline ambulances and very large vehicles where you're controlling a multitude of heaters, fans, lights, comms equipment, but you don't have to spend the big money to get the NX control systems at all. Similar to the MCS range of systems, we have the 8, 16 and the 32, which is what most converters are going to be more comfortable with, and these are going to be able to replace like for like in future. Also, you only ever need to spend up to your limits and up to your requirements. The smaller NX8 range, very similar to the MCS8, very good for divisional policing, moving up to the 16s and then onto the 32s. The good thing about these is the 200 watt digital amplifier is built into them, so you'll no longer have to spend additional money buying a standalone amplifier. It can be paired with standard siren speakers, what you're normally used to, as well as a low frequency range that's on offer from RSG to produce the rumble tone. The rumble tones are becoming quite popular now, isn't it, Stu? Are you starting to feel like you're selling more of those?
Yeah, definitely. And one of the great things with that is it's approaching warning from a whole new perspective. So, of course, you've got your lights, which are a visual alert. You've got your siren, which is an audio alert. But the nice thing with this rumbler is you feel it in the ground.
Absolutely.
It's a special speaker facing to the ground. It's using low range frequencies, so it's the bottom of the audio range. And that direction of sound straight into the ground makes the ground actually move. You feel the movement around you. So if you're short-sighted, for instance, but poor sight, or you're a city centre, there's a lot of noise going on in the city, you've got obstructions, you can't see the lights, it's another way of picking up the fact there's an emergency vehicle nearby, and just to be aware.
Great, and we can still integrate a variety of different handsets, can't we, with the entire range of the NX series, similar to the MCS?
Exactly, so these normal push-button handsets integrate, but of course we've got CAN connectivity on these devices, so we can use the touchscreen devices we were just talking about and looking at earlier on.
Exactly, and we can incorporate this as well into vehicle OEM equipment, can't we? So
exactly, so
CarPlay touch screens.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, Carrot, as you know, a lot of you will be familiar with Carrot. It's very popular now in the police market, where we use the vehicle's integrated screen, what you'd normally get your radio on, override that. We can give a whole range of functions, talking directly to the MCS system, which is something that's quite unique to RSG in the UK market right now. Well, Stuart, thanks very much for your time. As always, pleasure to do business with you, pleasure to work with you, and we can't wait to see some of the things that are coming in 2024.
Thanks, Ellis. Good to see you.
Take care.
Cheers, thank you.